Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp and Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined with my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how you doing, man? Few days removed from Christmas. Were the kids happy?
Very happy. How about your kid?
Can't complain, man. I mean, that's basically what Christmas is now, right? It's for the children, and
Absolutely.
the way I kind of look at it is very simple, man. If she's smiling, I know we did good by her. So that's all that
Absolutely.
really matters, right? I mean, we work for the kids. That's the way I see it. We work for our children.
100%.
So yeah, no, Christmas was good. I mean, we're gearing up. We're almost close to the end of the year. That being said, let's do it, man. Let's get right into it.
Let's
Oh,
do it.
before that, two things, guys. Like and subscribe. All their links are at the bottom. YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always know when we've released a new episode. Speaking of
Yes.
latest episodes, we did the interview with Jordy Taylor, the Moment Taker. Unfortunately, Mr. Michaels, you were preoccupied with some family stuff, so you couldn't be there with us. But I know that you've listened to it. What did you take away from that?
Thought it was very good. Well done. You had some really good questions. You had some good answers. It was a good environment, a good vibe. It flowed well. I thought it was well done on both ends. Good job,
Yeah,
both you
no,
guys.
no, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, no, he was really easy guest to talk to, and he made it easy.
Yeah.
He made it easy for me, really, at the end of the day, right? So I want to be able to do more of these for both of us together, hopefully,
Yeah.
preferably, to do more of these interviews in person. It's a different vibe, man. It's a different energy. I can't explain it. Talking to people on the computer, this what we do, it's great, it's awesome. We got this down packed, but there's a certain level of intimidation when you're sitting across from someone
Yeah.
and you're really kind of put on the spot. Like, you can't really have dead air. Like, you gotta have stuff to talk about. So I mean, it goes a lot to the quality of the guests that we've had. The two live podcasts that we've done now turned out amazing,
We've
Scotty
had
and,
a few
and
interviews
Jordy.
now. It's getting hard to put it down. I was thinking about that. Somebody asked me from work, what are your guys' yesterday? What are your guys' top three interviews that you guys have done? And I said, oh, that's tough. Because we've had Scotty, we've had Vance, we've had Molitor,
We got
Jordy
Otto.
now, Otto.
Auto,
So
yeah.
it's hard to pick.
I mean, they're all equally top three. Like, I won't say one was better than the other. I
Yeah, they all
won't
have a different
say
vibe, a different
they
feel. They're all
all a
good in their
different
own way.
energy. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Scotty was exciting just for the fact that was what launched the show.
It off. Still our
Uh,
most viewed video, almost 300
right,
views.
right. So, and having Jordy on was really cool as well. So I mean, those are cool. But all the conversations we've had with Otto and everything that's kind of going on with them and what have you. I mean,
Steve Molitor one was good too.
Molitor was amazing as well, right? So I mean, from all angles, all
The
perspectives,
Vance ones are great.
Vans were great as well. So whatever we've done, every guest that we've had, we're gonna double that, triple that this year. Um, I can't complain, man. Everyone was
And they're
good.
all good.
Everyone,
They're all good people. They're all
they're
good,
all
easy to
solid
work
people,
with, not
easy
selfish.
to work. No, absolutely. And in the case of, like, Vance and Otto, for example, these two gentlemen have so much experience within the industry
Oh
itself.
yeah.
And just off air, behind the scenes, just having a conversation with Vance is phenomenal. Like, he truly is, as is Otto, as is Scotty, as is everyone we've talked to. But these two stand out, in my opinion, as
They're first class guys, first all the way.
they're all the way first class guys. But they want to succeed, but they want you to succeed
Yeah, they
with
help
them,
you along, which is
right?
great. Yep.
Thanks to Vance for connecting us to other people. Thanks
Yes.
to Otto to connecting us to
Vance
people.
putting her ad in the Cauliflower Alley
Exactly.
Club
All these
posters,
things,
stuff
right?
like
Like,
that.
to reach out and say, hey, do you guys want to do this? Like, you don't have to,
No,
right?
he's
It's
a
so,
great guy. Great guy.
phenomenal individuals, phenomenal books. But yeah, no, but that being said, as we look back on the year, Chance, I thought it'd be apropos to basically do a year in review of wrestling. What do you say to that, my friend?
I think that's a darn good idea. Let's get it rolling.
All right. So, guys, I mean, I kind of made it sound like we just came up with this awesome idea, but we've been working on it for about the last week or so. So just so you know, we're gonna go through different categories, and Chance and I know what those categories are, but we do not know who each other picked.
Nope.
So that way we can have a nice little debate and be surprised or shocked or agree on what we've done. So that
Yeah.
being said, brother, why don't we start with the male wrestler for 2022? You want to go first or should I go first?
Doesn't matter, gentlemen. First, go ahead.
All right, brother, man, and a good gentleman after me after that. So here's what I did, man. I kind of looked at it this way. I wanted to be fair, and I looked at all the four promotions that are out there in essence, right? WWE, AEW. I threw Impact in there, and I threw New Japan in there as
Yep.
well. You kind of gauge across the scene. So when I looked at everyone, I basically tried to pick one from each promotion. So in the case of male of the year, I picked I was going to go with either Seth or Roman from the WWE,
Me too.
John Moxley, or Daniel Bryan, or actually Chris Jericho from AEW.
Okay.
And from New Japan, I was kind of looking at more of a Will Ospreay, because I'm more familiar with them. I mean, I wish, one of my goals is to get more familiar with New Japan.
Yeah, I didn't pick a New Japan guy just because I don't really watch it enough, so it wouldn't be fair for me to
Yeah,
pick.
I have a working knowledge of it, but I don't know it well enough to be fair to
Yeah.
it.
No,
Fair?
fair enough.
So here's who I picked. Of all the four men that I mentioned here, the five men that I mentioned, I went with Seth Rollins. Now, my thinking on this is very simple. Roman is a very logical choice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I looked at what Seth accomplished and what Roman accomplished, and both did great things. But Roman had a mic piece, Roman had a crew with him,
Yeah.
so he had a lot of supplementary characters to kind of promote him and to make him, grow and be who he is today, which is phenomenal. Nothing wrong
Absolutely.
with
Guy's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but Seth, on the other hand, he's a guy who's kind of did it on his own. Had an amazing three-match feud with Cody Rhodes in which he didn't win a single match, but that didn't hurt him. He goes on to just kind of evolve the character and having the crowd in his palm again. I just think hands down on the
His
mic.
outfits too, though. He's always wearing different outfits, the way he dresses, his facial expressions, his selling. Like,
Yeah,
he's the
it's
best.
the evolution of Seth Rollins over the year, everything he's accomplished, considering what he's gone through, considering all the losses he's gone through, to stay strong and still be on top of the game. The man does not need a title. I don't know if he could say that
No,
without Roman. If he lost a title, would he still have the same kind of,
I don't think
push
so.
to him, right? So, that's why I went with Seth Rollins. Now, it was a toss up between him and Jericho for me because Jericho is another guy throughout this whole entire year has done nothing but evolve his character and kind of did like a Mick Foley kind of thing where he brought different versions of himself back all year round. For a little while, he was the Lion Tamer, the Lionheart, Chris Jericho, and then he was the Widowmaker, Chris Jericho. All these things that he's done.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, for him, that was pretty cool at his age and everything. Physique is looking phenomenal.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Uh,
52. Yeah.
yeah, for 52, rocking that abs and what have you. But for me, Seth Rollins, man, was the male wrestler of the year. How about you?
I agree with you with everything you said about Seth. He's never had a bad match. I mean, his Hell in the Cell match with Cody Rhodes is unbelievable. Like I was saying, his look, he's always got a different look, different outfits, the hair, just everything that he does, the way he sells, the way he makes guys look good. Like I was between him and Roman. I was totally with you on that. I had to give the edge to Seth, but it was close with Roman. But overall, Seth Rollins, WWE male wrestler of the year, and for all the promotions, Seth. I think he's the number one guy, even though he doesn't have the belt, doesn't need it.
Well, that's what I think for me was the deciding factor is the fact that the man does not need a strap on him to be something.
No.
He is what he is, right? I mean, yeah, but let's move on. Female wrestler of 2022. You know what? I had a hard time with this one because whenever I thought this year, like Liv Morgan, for example, she had this amazing storyline, and she kind of fell off the radar after she lost the title.
Yeah.
And you look at a lot of the girls in general, a lot of them are either coming back or leaving. No one has been consistent, in my opinion. There's only two people that I feel that have been consistent all year. One being Bianca Belair from the
Yeah.
WWE and Jade Cargill from AEW. Yeah, those are probably the two women, because I look at it this way, like Soraya just kind of showed up, right? You know, she should be more
Yeah,
applicable to this list next year. Every girl that's left the WWE or has been let go by WWE and shown up in AEW, they have no storylines, they have no arcs,
no,
they nothing's really kind of gone on. They've come in with a loud bang, but you know, just kind of puttering now, you know. Who's that? Ruby Riot, right? Like, you know,
Ruby
she
Soho, isn't it?
well, Ruby Riot, Ruby Soho,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Two.
Either or. You know, here's a girl that came in with a lot of fanfare and, you know, a big oomph. Same with Athena. She formerly known as Ember Moon. The only one, Tony Storm, was the only one that kind of did anything out of that group, winning the title, but then was considered an interim champion. So, you know, based on all of that, I'm gonna go with Bianca, man. I think she had the consistent year. She had consistent feuds. She stayed on top. She stayed true to herself. So, I mean, I am gonna go with Bianca Belair as
Dude, that's
female.
crazy. I had the same as you, man. The male wrestler and female wrestler of the year. I was thinking like maybe I could throw a Ronda Rousey out there, but she didn't have enough work this year. But yeah, it's Bianca. She's most consistent, puts on great matches. She's over with the fans. It's a no-brainer to me with that one. Bianca it is.
Yeah, no, Bianca for me, just hands down. I mean, the only other person I would have kind of considered in here would have been Becky Lynch, but she was
Yeah.
gone for a little bit of the year. But I mean, that first half of the year up until WrestleMania, she was phenomenal. And then, you know, she got hurt and, you know, she just recently came back. But I mean, I think Becky's kind of like Seth. I know they're married, blah, 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 but she's kind of, she doesn't need a strap either, I don't feel.
No, I don't think so either. She's good at what she does with or without it.
Right?
Won't make a breaker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So here we go. Match of the year. I have two, but I'll tell you which one I picked.
Let's hear it.
So I went with Seth versus Cody in Hell in the Cell.
If that one has to be it. No other one compares when he comes out with that chest like that.
Yes, there was one other match that I thought was comparable, only because of the energy of these two men. Gunther versus Sheamus at Clash at the Castle.
That was great.
That was another phenomenal match through and through. I couldn't, you know.
Another match I was thinking about, I thought it's not the best match. I thought was top 3 or 4 was Lesnar versus Reigns when Lesnar came out in the tractor, tipped the ring up and all that stuff. You know, but I agree with you. Hell in the Cell
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm basing it just basically, you know, Hell in the Cell, Cody coming out, and that wasn't a makeup job. That was legit.
That was real.
Right? I mean, for the man to work through that and for Seth to protect him and keep him safe, like considering what the structure was, and I mean, how much can they you're limited. You're completely limited.
He must have been in agonizing pain the whole match.
The limitations are just amazing to think about after the fact, and to see that they pulled off a full match using props, using that cage, which is unforgiving. I don't care who you are, you get thrown into a cage,
you don't feel good.
No. You don't feel good. I don't
no
work or no work, man. I mean, you hit.
I think if Cody would have been healthy all year, he might have got superstar of the year, but he went down, he's out. So it was Seth, right? He stepped up.
No, 100%. And you know, that kind of takes me to the. So what did you pick? You same thing?
Same thing.
Well, dude, you and I are just fucking two great.
I know 3 for 3. These are so. That match is so above everything else. It's hard not to give that. It's like saying, you know, like it's like watching Wayne Gretzky play. He's a cut above everybody else. So that's how good that match was.
The other reason I picked that match is because it was the first match that came to my mind, but I also looked at the time of the year that it happened, considering where we are now. Like if I'm thinking of that match that happened in May, was it
something like that? No, I don't think it was. I think it was before May.
April? No. It had to be May because they had the match at Mania. Then they had the match after that, and then Hell in a Cell was the third one, right? So April,
so
May. So think about it. It's 6 months ago, 7 months into the year later. And that's the first thing that I'm thinking of, considering how much wrestling we've digested, how much wrestling we've watched, how much we've talked about. Yet, if that's the thing that comes to my mind first, that has to be it for me anyways, right?
It came to my mind first too.
Absolutely. Now, spot of the year. and I'm gonna reference what you were talking about earlier, Brock and the tractor. That has to be the
Yeah,
spot of the year,
that's a spot of the year,
hands down.
hands down.
Right? For me, anyways, that you can't forget that. That's old school kind of attitude wrestling era. You'd
And it's
never,
Brock having fun. You're seeing a friend, like a goofy kind of Brock, sort of, right?
yeah, no, 100%. So that's going to be kind of cool as well. So, spot of the year, I guess we're 4 for 4.
100%.
All
Yeah.
right, man. I'm going to let you answer this one because I think we're going to go for 5 for 5 on this one. Promotion of the year.
The greatest promotion of all time in wrestling, World Wrestling Entertainment, by a landslide. What about you?
You know what? I'm going to agree with you 100%. I did agree with that. It was kind of interesting because their 2022 didn't start off that hot, man. That Royal Rumble was probably one of the worst Royal Rumbles ever put together. It just wasn't good. The whole card wasn't good. The Rumbles weren't good. Um, and you kind of thinking, oh shit, is this how the year going to start? Because I mean, if that's the road to WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
that's where everything kind of technically starts to WrestleMania. That was a shitty start for the WWE.
Yeah, it wasn't
Uh,
one of their better Royal Rumbles, that's for
no,
sure.
right? I
Mania
AEW
was
is
really good, though.
no, everything kind of picked up after that. Let's be fair, is fair, right? But I mean, if you're gauging the year and you're thinking, it's kind of like your Seahawks over there, yeah. If
Yeah,
they fall 0-5 to start the season, hypothetically speaking,
yeah,
you're kind of like, fuck, this year's over,
pretty much.
right? Or even baseball, if my Cubs go 23-30 or 23-40 to start, you already know there's no playoffs.
Speaking of baseball, buddy, keep your schedule open in July because the All-Star game is coming to T-Mobile Park in Seattle, man. Home run derby and game. We got to go to that.
Well, dude, we're going. I don't see
It
what
hasn't been here in 21 years. You can't miss this.
Yeah,
This
well,
is
we're
great.
going. We're
Yeah,
going. As soon as tickets are available, Samp&Chance will be there. Absolutely,
yeah,
man. I don't even know why we're even considering thinking
yeah.
about
I
that.
can't wait. Can't wait.
No, no. I mean, just to be able to say I've been to an all-star game.
Mm-hmm. Watch a home run derby. Watch the All-Star game. You can't beat
That's it, man. And then we go to our favorite lounges afterwards and enjoy a couple of beverages and relax.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that, man. Can't go wrong with that. Only
Oh, it's a
you know
fun
what I'm
place.
talking about.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. 2021, I would have said AEW was the promotion of the year. They had the better storylines. They had the better everything going on compared to the WWE, which I think had a rough 2021. But I gotta say, man, 2022, considering everything that they went through and the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, the hellos and the goodbyes,
Mm-hmm.
they managed to pull off an extraordinary year. I think Mr. Punk caused a lot of friction in that
He definitely
organization.
hurt the company big
He
time.
hurt the company, and then he kind of set it off where other guys were fighting in the back. Andrade was fighting with Sammy
I have to say the
Guevara,
worst
and
moment of the year is for CM Punk to sit there and trash the company and the officials and everybody when the owner is sitting right beside you. Man, if that's Vincent, man, he yanked that mic out of your hand, cut the press conference. That'd be it. Like for Tony Khan to allow that, I
and
couldn't
Tony
believe that.
Tony Khan looked like someone had just he just looked really
I know.
stupid sitting there. I'm
It was
trying to
bad.
find the
He
right
should have
word
shut
so I
that
don't.
down.
Oh, what are you gonna do? And the funny thing is, I don't see them getting better, to be honest.
No, they hit their
Um,
peak. It looks like.
I think they've hit their peak. I feel that the people that they put in charge, like in place of trying to have some structure and everything, are the same guys that couldn't figure out TNA,
Yeah,
right? These are all the same. I'm not gonna call them. No, you know what? These are all the same individuals that couldn't get the job done at other promotions. I don't know what they're gonna do here.
I guess I figured they got more money behind them, be a little bit easier in AEW. TNA didn't have as much money.
I think
Although I think if you take TNA's best shows and put them against AEW's best shows, I think TNA's had some better shows
I
in their
think
day.
Impact has done a better job than AEW in a lot of ways, right? And I've been watching Impact. I think a lot of the talent there is working really hard because I think I look at TNA or Impact, sorry, as the purgatory of wrestling.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good
it's
way
a
to look at it.
it's a promotion, but it's not the two big ones. You
True.
kind of, and I enjoy watching Impact, and I implore you and I implore our listeners and our
Isn't
fans
it
to
on the
listen.
zone now, right?
It's on DAZN, yeah. So if you have a subscription to it, you can catch it there. But you know what? There's no excuse. You can find it anywhere, man.
Yeah,
The talent there works really, really hard. I
they
mean,
do.
you want to say it? I would say it's a one step above the independent scene.
Yeah, that's fair. LP's
right?
in there, right? LP's in Impact, right?
LP's in New Japan.
He's in New Japan right now. Okay.
Yeah, he's killing it in New Japan, man. He doesn't need Impact. There's a lot of guys on the independent scene that could get a lot of value from Impact. And that's where WWE, that's where AEW are looking for their new guys, so to speak, is coming out of those kind of things, right? Um, so
Here's
that
a
should be
question for you: would you rather watch Impact or NXT?
probably watch NXT only because it's the filter line for WWE and I'm kind of involved in it and I kind of watch it a bit more and I have more access to it, to be fair, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we get it on TV here. I wish we could get Impact on Canadian television, but we don't. Unless you have the Fight Network or something, right?
Fight Network or the Zone.
Or the Zone, right? So, but the Zone's fairly new. I only noticed it there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until you told me about it. Then I spoke to wrestling. Well, crap, I didn't know about it at all.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, Impact, not bad, man. It's a good organization. It's a good step up for a lot of
It is good.
guys. Yeah, AEW, my advice to them, and I'm a nobody in this world, but I will be very honest to say, dude, you got to cut your roster by at least 30% in order to keep people
Too many
happy.
guys. Yeah, and
Too many
women.
guys, too many girls, too many of everything except and you keep running the same 15, 16 people over and over again. Right? I
And
mean,
Rampage only gets 300,000-400,000 people watching it every Friday. I mean,
no, I get it. I think the best thing about AEW is MJF,
MJF is great. He's great,
right? He's
and they got
phenomenal.
good commentating. I got to give them that. You got JR Shivani and Excalibur and Taz.
Yeah. No, fair enough, man. You know what? That's a debate we'll have another day.
But if that's the best thing I can find about the show as a commentating, it's not saying a lot, right?
No, fair enough, man. But I mean, like I said, we live in a world today where there's wrestling for every type of fan.
Absolutely.
You want the independence, you got the independence. You want that old studio feel that was done in your local TV station. You got NWA pulling off those type of shows, right?
How do you even watch that? Where is it on YouTube? Like, how do you find it?
That's Power Hour is usually on YouTube.
Is it okay?
Yeah. And who else do we have? I mean,
That's your buddy
WWE.
William Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins owns that, right?
Yeah, and you know what? He's doing a good job.
He came here with they were here a little bit ago with Jane's Addiction or whatever.
Yeah, for like the Lollapalooza or whatever, one of those kind of retro
Whatever they
type of
call it,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's doing a good job. He's doing the best he can with what he's
Yeah.
got. He's
He's a
working
smart
pretty hard
wrestling
there.
fan. He knows his stuff.
No, he does, man. You don't get into this and put that kind of money into something without knowing what your market is, right? So let's see where everything kind of goes, man. Like I said, when we entered 2022, we had no clue half the shit that was going to happen.
Nobody could predict it. Triple H has
Right?
a heart attack. Vince steps down. Nobody could have seen that coming.
None of it at all. You know, Shane gets fired. That's what started the whole year off, right? Like the Royal
Yeah,
Rumble
he
was
was his
so
own
shitty.
kid.
The whole Royal Rumble was so shitty that Vince fired his kid.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
You know,
savage to fire your own son.
that started it off. So I think we're gonna go 6 for 6 here because I'm gonna ask now top news story of the year. I went with Vince McMahon
Has to
retiring.
be. Yeah. It all really started when Triple H had that heart attack and he was sidelined, and then all of a sudden he gets the call. It's with his wife going to the cabin or whatever. Hey, you guys got to step up. And here we go, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
wow, what a
And
year.
and I'll be honest, in the 6 months that they've been in charge, like I said, we'll gauge this in a year, but they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, they've done well. Yeah, Triple
They've
H
done-
isn't stupid. Here's the thing: what's Vinnie Mac going to do in 2023? We don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to wedge his way back in? Is he going to sell it? We don't know. But he's not happy on the sidelines. We'll see. I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah.
The thing I would like to ask Vinny is one question and one question only. You say, according to the report, you got bad advice to step down. Who gave you this advice? I'm going to take 3 guesses. Tell me if I can guess these 3 people. Nicholas Khan, Stephanie McMahon, and Paul Levesque. I can guarantee he'll say one of those 3 and told him to step down.
If I were to pick out of those 3, I'd probably pick Nicholas Khan.
And Steph?
Because, no, primarily him.
I don't think Triple H would say, "Yo, step down." I don't think Triple H would say that. But we don't know what goes on.
No. I don't think Trips and I call him Trips. I don't think Triple H or Stephanie would have been the ones.
When I watched that interview with Triple H and Ariel Helwani, it almost seemed like he's happy to have a spot, but it almost seemed hesitate when he just had the heart attack. He gets called to do it. It almost seemed like he wanted a little more time to chill out. It didn't seem like he really was edging for the power because he had a heart attack. He wasn't even there when this happened.
Yeah. No, I think it
So I don't
wasn't
know.
so much. I hear what you're saying, but for myself personally, I watched that interview, a couple times. And kind of what I got out of it was more the intimidation and the fear of taking over from a real wrestling god,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that trepidation of taking over for a Vince McMahon.
Hmm.
It's kind of like,
I wish I could have heard their Christmas dinner talk with all those, Vince and Triple H. They had dinner together, and
yeah.
whatever was
Well,
being
I mean,
said.
from what I understand and from what Triple H has said, Vince has been very supportive.
Oh yeah, he still owns it.
And
He doesn't want it to do
no,
bad.
no. And then he basically gave him an advice along the way. And I think one piece of advice, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting this at all, but the one thing that Triple H said is like, make it yours.
Do what you want to do, not what I
Do
would
what
do.
you
Yeah.
exactly make it your show. And I think he has done that to a certain extent. But like I said, the jury's still out. They've done really good.
I think the
Um,
only one mistake that I can criticize Triple H on is bringing back some of those guys that were cut. I think they should have stayed. Some of those guys should have stayed on the sidelines and never been back.
I tell you what, man, I was excited for a lot of those returns, and I will agree with you today, on
Mm-hmm.
record that a lot of those guys are kind of fumbling again, right? They're not
Yeah, so
really
Karrion
doing
Kross is kind
anything.
of fading out. Braun's kind of fading out. I mean, the Bray Wyatt stuff's cool, but he hasn't even had a match yet. What are we waiting for?
Bray's probably going to scrap this week on SmackDown. But
Speaking
yeah,
of SmackDown, we got the John Cena return.
yeah, we
20
got that.
years every
No,
year.
no,
I can't
we
wait for
got
that.
no. That's going to be an interesting SmackDown to start off the year, I guess. I mean, this is the first live one since Christmas, right? The
Another guy I
last
was leaning towards for Superstar of the Year, but didn't have enough quality matches to put him in there. But just as entertainment alone, I thought was Sami Zayn. Just as far as coming out and entertaining week after week, I think he's the most consistent, but he doesn't have enough matches to give him that spot.
Yeah, no, and I mean the matches he did have were kind of useless in my opinion.
Yeah. But as far as entertaining
Um,
week to week, he's been brilliant.
no, he's been absolutely phenomenal, man. I think
Yeah.
he's been the best part of the bloodline in a lot of ways,
Hands down.
right? Without him, I don't think they would have had the success they've been having.
No, he brings a fun factor to it. Those guys, the Usos are boring. That other guy, their brother, is boring.
Well, he's kind of taken that really role of the enforcer where nothing, he just kind of stands there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's playing the character to a T. So the fact that you find him boring means he's doing a great job.
Yeah, no, he's doing what he's supposed to do. But yeah, Sami
Yeah.
Zayn gives him a little bit of sizzle to the steak, as JR would say.
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, so that's all the good stuff. Now, I wasn't sure if we wanted to, but we decided to do it anyways. The worst of 2022. All right, so I got two guys here that I'm going to call the worst male of 2022, and this is where I think we might start to disagree, I hope. I came up with Shanky and Omos.
No, I didn't have those guys.
Yeah, I had Shanky and Omos because, I mean, in the world of big men and what have you, Shanky basically fell off the face of the earth. Trying to be the funny big guy with the dancing and stuff and this and that. I didn't find that endearing at all. Omos on the other hand, he's really pigeonholed himself now. I mean, outside, like we have not really seen him since he fought Bobby Lashley at
Is he
Clash of the
hurt? Maybe
Castle.
they
No, they
rebranding
just have
him.
nothing to do with him, man. Like, what can you do? You build up a monster, and this is, I guess, the Andre effect, right? Like you can't put a title on a big man like that. Because I mean, he built him up to be such an entity, like only three guys can beat him in the company.
Lashley and Lesnar, basically.
Lashley, Lesnar,
Braun.
or Braun, or
Yeah.
Four, and Reigns,
Yeah.
right? You know what? That being said, you'd have to throw in Seth in there too, because he beat up all those other guys too.
Yeah, I don't know. You figure you see Omos soon here. I'm sure he'll be in the Royal Rumble or something.
Well, I mean, that's all the only spots they really have, right? Like, I mean, I love the big man. I love the 7
Oh, I
foot
love
tall
it.
dudes. I love it, but you got to make it a bit more realistic. I feel you can't. It's like Kramer. Kramer will always be known for playing Kramer.
Yeah.
Michael Richards can go and do any other film, whatever, but he'll always be Kramer,
Yes.
right? Screech from Saved by the Bell will always be Screech.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, no matter how hard he tries. I mean, Adam Sandler tried to do drama and what have
No, it
you.
doesn't work for him.
And it doesn't work. Like Spanglish, a movie he did called Spanglish, with Penelope Cruz. Excellent movie, really good. But if don't go in there expecting Adam Sandler being Billy Madison.
Yeah, he's a goofball, and that's what he's best at.
But
Simple.
that's
It
the
sucks to
thing.
say it,
It
but
sucks, right? Like there's not many guys that can do different roles. And like, Brad Pitt is one guy that can be funny and pull off drama. De Niro, Pacino,
a
like
couple
those
guys, yeah.
few handful of guys. But I feel the unfortunate thing for Shanky and Omos is that they're pigeonholed and there's nothing you can do with them.
I guess you just have to bring almost out and just start beating up a couple guys. Come out and start smashing 2 or 3 guys and just showing up and just wreaking havoc. Not even having a match. Send them out a tag match, beat up 3, 4 guys, and take off, kind of thing.
But then what? How long do you keep playing that?
Eventually,
People get bored of that, right?
yeah. Because
That's
he
the
has a
problem.
couple feuds with Braun or something. I don't know.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, you got a couple things here and there. If not, you come out and they're basically TV filler time. Oh, we need someone to fill segment 7, which is 4 minutes long before the
Yeah,
next commercial. You send out Shanky to beat up 3 dudes, right?
yeah. No,
Or
I hear
you
what you're
do.
saying.
So that's why I kind of put them there. I hope they have better years. I hope they can figure out something for themselves. But until then, they're the worst male wrestlers of the year, in my opinion. Who did you have?
No brainer for me. Phil Brooks, CM Punk, what he did to disgrace his own company like that. He took an old man who has been gone for 7 years that WWE didn't really want. He's been just kind of embarrassed himself in UFC, and he goes there. He gets the belt. He gets the red carpet rolled out. He's paid all this money. He doesn't even generate a very high rating, and then he goes and insults the man who gave him all this money and gave him the spots that he wanted. And totally disrespects his company. He's a low class guy, not a good guy. I don't care if he's straight edge. He's garbage. And I'm glad he's gone. I hope he never wrestles again. He's by far the worst male wrestler of the year, just for that alone.
You know,
Yes,
I,
he's not
I
bad in the ring, but for doing that, everything that Tony Khan gave you, disrespect the man on a press conference like that, you're a disgusting man.
fair enough, brother, man. I didn't even think about that. He did not even cross my mind. I wish I could take back my worst male now, but you know what? I'm gonna agree with you, man. He
Yeah.
hands down, you win that round. Worst female. Who do you have?
How long is that? This one's tough. I mean,
Okay, I went with Wendy Chu from NXT.
I couldn't really come up with one really because I don't think anyone really stand out. So that's probably one of the ones I had. I
It's
have to
tough,
go with
right?
Wendy Chu probably. Yeah, the female one's
Yeah.
a little bit harder because none of them was as bad as the stuff that CM Punk pulled.
I went with Wendy Chu because I just don't care for the character.
Actually, sorry, Sasha Banks and
Naomi.
for what they did. You're quitting like that, you're taking their ball and going home. You two ladies, worst female wrestler, just because of doing that. You're so spoiled,
Yeah.
you're so entitled. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity that you get, and you do that. You don't have to
No,
agree with what's been done, but you don't got to do that.
no, 100%. And it kind of sucks because I will say this honestly, Sasha is 10 times better than Naomi in the ring,
Oh, way better. Uh-huh.
right?
I totally agree.
And unless she's gonna carry her and take her wherever she goes, Sasha would be the worst female wrestler of the year because not only did she fuck over the promotion, if she doesn't take Naomi with her wherever she ends up and she's going to New Japan,
Is she?
yeah, she's fucking over someone else's career. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, Naomi had a built-in program with the bloodline,
I know. Think of all the money and all the TV time she lost out on.
right? I mean, if you wanted the Judgment Day to feud with the bloodline, you had Naomi there to go with Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
If you wanted the bloodline to feud with the new club or the Bullet Club, whatever they call themselves,
Yep.
they would have Mia Yim there to kind of go against it. So maybe Naomi's not thinking straight or she's getting bad advice, but I mean, with all the people around her, all the wrestling minds that she has to pick from, I don't understand why she would have made these choices, man.
I think she just got heat of the moment, got carried away, followed Sasha's lead, and it's too late to turn back.
For sure. Okay, so why did I say Wendy Chu? I just find her very annoying. Always sleeping in her little onesies and stuff like that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
get the character. It makes no sense to me. And when I've watched her in the ring, like I've tried on so many different levels, bro. Even making this list, I went back and looked at Windy True matches just to see, okay, am I right or wrong in this? Like, am I, and even her matches aren't that great. Like, I
No.
think she's kind of the lower end of the NXT women's roster. And I think she's holding on to that gimmick of her, remember those toys that we had as little kids that you bounce like it's like a fucking medicine? No, it's kind of like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
workout ball with the horns.
yeah, yeah.
The fact that you're rocking that makes no sense to me, man.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't get it. Trying to make like a little kid, like a little teenager. I don't know what they're
yeah,
trying to.
yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I think Roxanne Perez did a better job of being a kid who's fulfilling her dream to a woman who potentially is so sleeping. And I don't get it. I just didn't get it, right? But I guess it's
Yeah,
working because she's on our list.
exactly. Doing something right.
All right, here goes worst match or feud of the year. Here's what I picked. I picked Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel as worst match and feud of the year. I just thought that was completely pointless. I just don't understand what they were trying to accomplish by having Elias shave off his beard and wear, super small trunks. And it just didn't look right. Like it just didn't, none of it was right. It was funny. It was
Yeah,
comedy. I get it. I think the only good things about it were Kevin Owens' expressions when
yeah.
he'd come out like, "What are you talking?" Like, just that was probably the best part of it. But I would have to say, for me, that probably was. And if I had to pick a match of the year that I thought was completely stupid and had no value whatsoever, was Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. I
I
thought
enjoyed that match.
it was a fun match, but I mean, if I had to pick a shitty match of all the matches that of the year,
That was just two goofy dudes having some fun,
fair
but I
enough.
liked it. I
Yeah,
gotta agree with you on the Kevin Owens Ezekiel Elliott. I was almost leaning towards Dexter Loomis and Miz because I think it was so cheesy and corny. But yeah, Ezekiel and Owens takes the cake on that.
yeah, no, for sure. Okay, worst promotion of the year, I guess.
We pick out the big ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, I went AEW, but primarily Rampage, the show itself,
Yes, I agree with you. It's AEW.
right? I mean,
Rampage.
Dynamite's okay. Dynamite's okay. I don't have any
It's
problem
okay.
with it. But overall, I just think with all the infighting and all
I don't
the
think they even need to do a show. I know they're trying to do a Raw and SmackDown. They should have just kept with Dynamite. They need to get the second show off the ground. They should have waited. They don't need
well,
Rampage.
it's kind of reminiscent of when
Thunder and
Thunder
Nitro.
came, yeah, Nitro and Thunder, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, you're doing great with this, then why would you start this show? Like they didn't need it, right?
No.
But I guess they feel they need to compete against SmackDown. But the funny thing is, it comes on after SmackDown. It doesn't even run at the same
Do
time.
we even get Rampage in Canada on TV?
Rampage here.
I mean, I see it on YouTube and highlights, but I don't think we get it in Canada.
If we do, it'd probably be TSN. It would have to be TSN because
I know we get
TSN.
Dynamite there, but I don't think
Yeah,
we get Rampage here. I'm not
I've never
sure.
looked, but then again, I get TBS and everything, so I don't even have to think about
Shouldn't
it.
even
Like it's
bother
just
with that.
there. Yeah. So, but yeah, no. Ultimately, I would
We got to
say
do one more thing. Who's manager of the year?
Paul Heyman.
Think so?
I
There's
think
not
it
many
would.
managers anymore. That's the thing.
Well, I would go with Paul Heyman, and the only other guy that I can think of, and I can't remember his name, it's the black guy, the bald black guy in AEW right now. Um, I can't remember his name. He used to be a
Would
WWE,
Dan
but now
Lambert count as manager or what?
Dan Lambert was more.
I can say right now, whatever you want to call him, his promos just for this year. I'm saying, if you take Dan's three best promos and put him against Paul Heyman's, Dan smoked him this year. I don't think it's even close. I thought Paul was good, but I think he's kind of regressing a little bit. I think him with the bloodline doesn't work very well. I think he's better than Lesnar, but I mean, he's still good. But I think Lambert's promos and the same promos are better than Paul Heyman's this year. If you watch them, I
No,
think
no, I'm not going to disagree. I
he
think
killed him this year. Dan was
Lambert
good.
was
It's too bad he's not
amazing.
around. Oh
No,
yeah,
Lambert's amazing, right? I mean,
oh
and
yeah,
and
love that
he
guy.
and I was wondering what happened to him. Why is he not on the show anymore? And he basically said that, oh, I'll come back when I need to come back. There's no point. Like I don't want to make people get used to me.
If I was Triple H, I'd snag that guy. You want to come
Yeah,
over to the big leagues? We could use you, man.
no,
Heck, he'd be a
100%.
good commentator. He's that good with his words and the
No,
stick.
I
He could be.
agree with you. He's really good at what he does, man. He's old school. He brings that old school kind of
If
feel
I
to
had a
it.
wrestling company, I'd say, "You want to be my color commentator? Come on down, Daniel."
Yeah, no, no. I'll agree with you there, man. I think Dan Lambert did a good job. I think just unfortunately he was not there long enough
No,
to get a full body of work in. But what he did show us and what he did provide to us
it was
was
great.
actually pretty, really cool, right?
Oh, that's really good.
So,
Refreshing to hear some of that stuff every now and again.
yeah, yeah, no, 100%. So the guy did, he's really cool. I enjoyed him, and he wasn't afraid to speak on the mic. You
Yeah, it
know,
was good. They gave
it's
him a lot
like,
of freedom.
well, that's the thing, right? And but overall, I think Heyman has to be the guy, right? I mean,
There's no
manager
really
of the
other
year.
competition. Is he the only manager in WWE really? But who else is there? There's really
I'm
no
trying to think.
competition.
No, there's more managers in AEW,
Yeah, and they're just like
right?
nothing that stands out, right? It's
Well,
like,
there's that one guy, like I said, I can't remember his name because it's kind of on the spot here, but he's got that guy from W Morrissey. What was his name here? Big Cass. He's managing him.
yeah,
He's
I know what you mean.
managing about a few, 4 or 5 other guys, and but his expressions, the way he talks, I think he's really good. And if he
Yeah,
keeps
he's
it
good.
up, he's gonna be. I just can't remember his name, man. I feel horrible
I'm not
now.
sure.
But anyways, if anyone
I know
out
who you're
there
talking
knows,
about.
yeah, if anyone out there knows who we're talking about, hey man, let us know. But yeah, man, that's my list. That's basically everything I could think of.
We covered it quite a bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anything you want
Here's
to add?
one for you. Let's throw it out there.
Yeah.
Independent match of the year that you've seen live, like for all these indie shows you went to last year. What was the best match that you've seen live?
Fuck. Um, I'm gonna go. I don't. They haven't really. Thunder versus Scotty.
Yeah,
I would have to say so because in that match, in that one particular match, both guys showed so much emotion. Showed, like it wasn't about moves per se, as it was the story and the expressions on
just
their
like
face.
Rock and Hogan, man. Sometimes that's better than
Exactly.
guys flipping around
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah, absolutely. And the energy that those two guys brought to that particular match was hands down, probably, in my opinion, one of my favorite matches to watch this year. Um, the Moment Taker at Loft Country was really good as well.
Yeah, that was a good one. Whole
Um,
late
him
taser thing
and
that he brings out and
yeah.
all that.
Well, that's the thing, and it wasn't him that had the most moves. That Taser had more moves than he did.
Yeah,
But the storytelling, just that psychology, and it was pretty evident those guys put on a really cool match as
and a
well.
really good match too was at Sullivan Hall. Thunder and Odin versus the American guys.
Again, the falls count or the
I was right in front of that, and
hardcore.
Thunder was taking some hard hits in the head, man. I was standing like 2 feet from him. He was getting whacked pretty hard.
No, he was, but again, it came down to stories and everything, right?
Motion,
So
yeah. Had the crowd in the palm
emotion,
of his hand.
absolutely. And so you know what,
And props that uncle guy with that Hulk Hogan jacket. That was a sick jacket. Whoever that guy was, that's cool. I don't know where he
dude,
found that.
first off, he's no uncle. He's younger than you.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
older.
Yeah,
Cool
yeah,
jacket though.
yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, he's younger than both of us combined. Um,
Must have got off Hogan's Beach Shop or website or something like that. Really cool.
yeah, no, he's I don't know him per se personally,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was a cool
Jacket of
jacket.
the year that I seen. That was really, really cool.
No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I think all in all, 2022 gave us a lot of good stuff, man, in terms of content, in terms of stories. There was no shortage of anything not to talk about. Um, I'm excited for 2023.
Who
I
knows what's
mean,
going to happen if Vince can step down and Triple H can have a heart attack, and who knows what's going to happen in 2023 because 2022 was out of control wrestling wise. So we don't know what's going to happen.
well, I mean, ever
Stay
since,
tuned.
look, man, I'll say it this way. I think if life has taught me anything, embrace each day for what it
Yes.
is, and do the best you possibly can in that day, and hope for another day afterwards. The way the world is right now, I don't think you can say, oh yeah, this will happen this year, this is going to
You
happen
don't
this
know.
year.
Nobody knows,
Nothing.
dude.
No,
No.
there's no kind of foreshadowing, I don't feel anymore. We live in a very dark part of history.
Yes.
There's some light, but majority of it is dark.
Yeah.
Being
Fair.
led by people with miscued perceptions and attitudes
Yeah.
and opinions, which is being forced down the gullet of everyone else.
That's the worst part.
And if you don't like it and say, hey, good for you, you're a bad guy or a bad girl, I'm gonna save this for another day because I can probably talk for another hour about that alone, but I don't want to go there because
No,
there's a
I know
lot,
what you're saying. I'm totally 100% agree with you.
right? I mean, I think what I hope for everyone coming forward is that everyone's healthy,
Yeah.
happy, the people that you love and care about are in your corner. And I think my biggest message to everyone is very simple. Support the people you like and that are close to you in your life,
Yeah.
opposed to supporting people who already have 3.5 million followers.
Well said. Very true.
If you have a friend who paints cars, go to him instead of makeup or whatever.
Yep.
If you have a friend who does nails and hair, go to her or him
Yep.
instead of the big name salon.
Totally agree.
That's
Yep.
all I'm saying. Support local people, support your friends, support the people that you are engaged with, opposed to going to everyone else. And
100%.
the number one thing I'll say to people for this year, my wish for people, is stop looking for fucking discounts and and cheaper things from people who produce things that you know.
Yeah.
If I own a restaurant, don't come to my restaurant asking for a discount.
Well, I remember saying I heard one time when I was about 12 years old, my grade six teacher said it to me, Mr. Watkins, good things aren't cheap and cheap things aren't good.
No, man. Quality is quality, and hard
Yep.
work is the only way to achieve anything.
Absolutely.
Without working hard, you don't deserve anything.
And you
Nobody
won't get
in this,
anything either. Yeah.
look, very simple, and I believe in this. Nobody deserves anything. You want something, you work your ass off for it. You may not get it right away. You may not get it in a year,
Yeah.
but you don't stop working hard. No one, well, I deserve this. No, you don't deserve shit.
You got to earn it.
You earn it. And if you've worked hard and you didn't get it, I'm sorry. That means you just have to work harder,
So true.
right? Look,
Yep.
we have our day jobs, but we work hard at what we're doing because we believe in ourselves and we believe in what we're bringing to the table,
100%.
right? So I have zero respect for any individual, man or woman, who sits on their ass and sits on their hands and complains about the world around them and I can't do this or I can't do that. Motherfuckers, there's a guy there with no legs fighting MMA.
Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
Okay. So if there's no boundaries for anybody. If you have no legs, that guy just proved it.
Yep.
I have no legs. There's no excuses for a man or woman completely able-bodied of mind and body to not get out there and get it.
Absolutely, dude. Well said.
And if you're not going to go out there and get it, thank you, because it's more for me and Chance Michaels to get.
Well said.
Simple, very simple. And I apologize if I've hurt anyone's feelings because I know people are way too sensitive these days. Wham wham, fuck off.
No, it was well said, dude. Good job.
Right? And it has to be said. It's just, and I think this is what you guys can expect a bit more from us as we grow now.
Yes.
I think it's time just to let the world know, like, you got to work hard. Nothing is free. Nothing is free.
No, nothing,
If a man sees a titty, somewhere along the lines, he'll have to pay for seeing that titty at some point.
Very
right?
true.
Very simple. There's no such thing as free titty. There's no such thing as free nothing.
Couldn't agree more.
Right? We work hard to achieve the things. People who want to say, oh, how come you guys get to travel and do that? Because we work our asses off.
Exactly, dude.
Everybody
can have the same things. They work hard at it. Absolutely. Depends what effort you want to put in.
Yeah, you got to work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. Don't stop working hard. Don't give up. There's no excuses for anybody.
No.
I think the only person who has an excuse is Stump. Right? If you're a Stump, then okay.
Yeah, you got an excuse.
You got a great excuse, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not a Stump, then you have no excuse, in my opinion.
No, very true, dude.
And you can blame Zion Clark for changing that attitude in me.
Zion Clark.
The guy with no legs.
I know. He's hilarious. Gotta give the guy credit, man. He's out there giving it.
His upper body's fucking twice the size of mine.
Oh, it's huge. He's jacked. He's jacked.
Right? Like, I get it. He's only got a small portion to work out on, but I mean, that physique on him is something else, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, his hand's so strong because he moves around with his hands, right?
Regardless of any of that, man, that the guy's physique is phenomenal. Can you imagine if he had legs?
Oh, he'd be unstoppable.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, brother man. I tell you what, let's end on this note because I don't think anything good can come as we carry on from this. Thank you. That was a really fun list that we
That
did
was
here.
good. We got the boxing one tomorrow. Same idea.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that, and we'll get that out to you guys in the next couple of days here. This one's gonna probably be dropped tonight if I have my way and get everything done. On that note, do you have a top 5 or anything before I close this out?
I do. I want to hear your top 5 moments of the year in wrestling. Could be from any promotion, any match, any story, whatever you got. Your top 5 moments. 2022.
Okay, well, Vince getting fired is number 1, or leaving. Sorry, not getting fired. Vince leaving is number 1. Number 2 for me would probably be Triple H and Stephanie taking over. That would be number 2. Number 3, Punk making a complete ass of himself and his company. That would be number 3. Number 4, having Paige, aka Soraya, come back. I thought that was kind of cool. I wish she came back to the Fed, but whatever. She'll be back when she has to come back.
Yep.
And number 5 would be Cody Rhodes coming home
to the big leagues. Welcome back. Like Seth said, welcome back to the big leagues.
Yeah, no, 100%. Considering what he started down with AEW, considering he's the founding father of that company and what have you, leaving it all behind, seeing what was going on in the company, realizing, in a way, I think he saw what was going to go down with Punk and all of it.
He knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming, and he left right at the right time, right? Cody should have been higher on the list, in my opinion, for me, but because of the injury, because of the long layoff, we only got a taste of him. I mean, if that's what he accomplished in 2 months, and as I recall, my friend, and I'm not knocking you, but you weren't too high on his return.
No, I wasn't too thrilled with it. No,
right?
But I still think he's overrated. Although he's had some great matches, I think he's still a little overrated personally. But
yeah.
I mean, match of the year, I got to give it to him.
Yeah. So I mean, that all being said, that'd be my top 5 stories of the year. 5 top things that happened. Yeah. No, it just overall it was a good year, man. I mean,
it was. Yeah.
I can't really complain about anything that we saw or didn't see outside of Ezekiel and Kevin Owens. I feel sorry for that character because I just feel like, I don't know, that just didn't make any sense.
I don't get it, dude, but
you know what? No sense at all was made of that situation. But I tell you what, brother man, I am Bobby Sampson. You are Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. And in the words of the infamous Ed Whalen, God rest his soul, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance. We'll be back at you in the next day or 2 with the boxing year in review. And if 2022 was anything, I cannot wait for 2023. It's already gearing up for some spectacular matches along the way.
Yeah.
Something I want to touch on is Javante Davis. Apparently he slapped her.
Second time this guy's done that. What a piece of garbage. I guess he learned from Floyd how to do this, I guess. And Adrian Broner.
I don't know, man. I don't
Bad
know.
luck,
We'll
man.
talk about it. We'll talk about it because is that going to put his fight in January?
Should. If he's beating up his woman like that, he shouldn't be fighting.
Right. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it the next day here or so. But brother man, enjoy the evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. And everyone out there still on holidays, enjoy it. Love it. And for the rest of us, let's just keep working our asses off, man, and making that cheddar. Everybody, have a great rest of your week. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels. We are motherfucking Samp&Chance, and we will talk to you later.